Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started. Girl, we did it. We did it.
I know, right?
Yeah, the conference.
I know. Teresa, when we had our planner retreat, we put that down as one of our items. And you were like a pit bull about that. You meant we were gonna have that conference.
Yeah. I'm so glad we did, aren't you?
I am, but Teresa, that was a lot of work. We don't have, it's just us.
Yeah.
And that was a lot.
It
was a lot.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but I think people really, really, really enjoyed themselves.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was such a sense of accomplishment because when we started this podcast, we said that our goal was to provide good information to the community, information that brought some value to improve people's lives. And people that attended the conference said that the information was solid.
They did.
And it was needed.
Yep.
And the fellowship was needed. So I felt good about that. But it was a lot. That was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work. You did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
No,
yeah,
we did it. We did it.
Girl,
but
you did it.
When you say that, I told you when we started this, you were like, we need an event planner. I said, Teresa, this is all I used to do.
Yeah, right.
This is, I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So, but it's a lot of work. But I'm thankful. It was, I think it was a good first conference.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Mm-hmm. So, we thank everybody that attended and for all of the support. But what we're going to do today, Teresa and I, we were trying to come up with something for the conference. And so what we decided to do was we've got some questions and we're going to take turns answering these questions.
Rapid fire.
Whatever comes to our mind is what we're going to respond. So, first question. Teresa, you want to try it? All right.
I will go first.
All right. Brave one.
What was the hardest part of the planning? Keeping up, honestly. For me, keeping up with you. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Because, I have a full-time job. Yeah,
a demanding job.
I don't want to be the reason why something doesn't get done or, a deadline isn't met or whatever. So that was the hardest part. No other hard part. Well,
really?
Now I thought about it, right? Just a quick second. All of the meetings, because we met extra, the in-person meetings, the hot day out at the festival, handing out flyers. It was a lot of hard work, like you said, but I just wanted to I just didn't want to fall behind.
Well, you did not fall behind. So, and how you do it, that's amazing to me, but you did not. So, all right, let me see.
What would you do differently, and what would you keep the same? Differently. I love the format. Okay. I would keep that the same. The format would stay the same. Maybe adding some breaks.
Yeah. We needed that.
Yeah. We were so excited. We didn't think about, a room full of ladies and having bathroom breaks.
No, I thought about it, but the agenda was just so tight. And, we had a hard stop.
Yes,
and so it would have cost us more to go over. So we were just trying to make sure we stayed within that time frame. So, but yeah. So what would you have kept the same? Did you answer?
I love the format.
Okay.
I do
So you
love
would
the
do
format.
that again.
Just incorporate some breaks so people can.
But you liked the agenda itself.
I did. Okay. I do. I want to keep community table has to always be a feature.
Yeah.
And whatever the subject might be, I think community table is spot on, and a keynote.
Yeah. I like that.
Well, I guess I might change me speaking.
No. We need to actually, because people responded to the health piece, and that's needed. So I absolutely would not change that. Okay. Minnie said, "See you next year," and can't wait until next year. What do you think? You're up for next year?
What do you think? Are you up for next year?
Okay. Teresa, when you were going around telling people, yeah, we're doing this next year, you almost made me have an attack. I was looking at you thinking to myself, and she lost her freaking mind. Does she remember what we have been through? We went out in the heat, giving out flyers to people. To strangers. Oh. People looking at us like we have lost our minds. We attended events so we could, try to market this thing. And not only that, I mean, family and friends. Yeah. We just hounded them. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, we're over it now. We have thick skins.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have that for this business.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I'm not so sure about that. I know what you said, and I know what people are, and we got to do something. Of course, we'll do something for Earrings Off next year, within a year. I don't know if this will be the event. That was a lot, but you said, "Well, Lou, we'll get somebody to help us," and I'm like, we ain't got no money to pay anybody. Where they gonna come from? I mean, how is that gonna work? Teresa, really, that was a lot. I wasn't sleeping at the end, and that was hard. I just wasn't sleeping. I would wake up in the middle of the night and remember something I forgot. Immediately go online and make sure that we covered it. I'm pleased about what we did for Earrings Off, because this is our baby, and if we don't do it, who will? Right. But we'll have to talk about that one offline. That was a lot.
How about if people send us comments? Would you like for us to put on another conference next year? Let us know, folks.
Let us know. And if you're saying yes, believe me, Teresa's your girl.
We had many people to say that they enjoyed the conference. How do you think the attendees really received us? I think they were sincere in their responses, because it continued. It didn't just end at the conference.
It continued, and it was unsolicited.
Yeah. I really think sincerely that people enjoyed it. I did get some. From one of my girlfriends that attended, I did get some constructive criticism, which I appreciated after the conference. But she was bubbling and ready to make life changes as a result of everything she heard there. Okay. And what Rashana shared, she told her daughter about it. So she totally.
Yeah. Well, and so I think it was well received. How did you feel immediately after the conference, right when it ended? Felt elated. I felt proud of us, because I really do think it went well, considering that was our first major event. Actually, it was our second. I keep saying our first, but our launch was our first. It was a major event when we launched the Earrings Off. So this was our second, but I felt pleased, because I do feel like it blessed a lot of people. I think and I know it blessed us, because we thought about it, we struggled with it, and we didn't give up. Because Teresa, when those tickets weren't selling,
Yeah.
We were talking about pulling it.
Right.
And
right.
We decided, no, we're gonna go forward.
We
And
also talked about pulling it.
right,
Delta variant kicked in.
right. We talked about that.
We had some personal issues that occurred during that time that we thought might have impacted our planning. Yeah. But there were a lot of events that happened leading up to it, but we stuck to it.
But in terms of really how I just felt exhausted after. I mean physically. I was elated, but when I got home, it's like it just hit me like, okay.
Ton of breaks.
Because you and I, for the last maybe 2 or 3, we've just concentrated on this because we had tight schedules and there was a lot of work that had to be done. And so it was just all about earrings off. I don't even remember too many days where you and I didn't talk on the phone. If we didn't have a Zoom meeting, we spoke every day. And that was about this conference and about earrings off. It was constant. So, afterwards, I was exhausted. Hubby took me out for a nice meal. I recovered some, so it was good.
Yeah. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on the couch.
I know, right?
Awesome. What was surprising?
Anything? Anything?
No. I can't think of anything surprising.
You can't think of anything surprising?
Let me think. I know we're supposed to be rapid fire and not think, but give me a second.
Okay. Because I got something if you don't.
Go ahead.
What was surprising to me was that we got a lot of support, but we also had some disappointments, I think, in that area in terms of expecting that people would be more receptive, and they just weren't.
Oh, okay.
From sources that we expected that support to come from.
You're talking about what was surprising during the entire process,
right?
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking in terms of the day.
Yeah,
absolutely. There was that. Absolutely,
there was that. Yeah, but the Bible talks about a ram in the bush. People that we didn't even know were supportive. Yes. And saying, you know what? No, I'm coming. Yeah. And then after saying, you know what? This was great. I didn't even know anything about you. But now that I do, I'm supporting you. And so the outreach was surprising and good. There were some disappointments, but that piece was surprising, and that was a positive.
So one other thing that I just happen to think about, you constantly say about, you tell me all the time about this nutrition knowledge that I have and how it's not common.
It's not, Teresa.
I realize that.
Saturday. Did you realize that? Well, then it was, I'm dropping the mic.
I did.
Did you realize that? I've been telling you that for years.
Here's what I'm saying. I totally blew it.
No, you did not.
I did. I blew
Teresa,
my speech.
I can tell you did not.
Look. Hold on. Let me. I did not. I have attended Toastmasters, and I know that I was a Toastmasters member. I know that I didn't do well. I didn't stay focused. I was all over the place.
But it was a time element.
It was a time element.
Yeah.
But what absolutely multiple people said was that information that I shared was incredible. Like they didn't even think about it. They never thought about nutrition in terms of those things, and they wanted more. Yeah. They wanted more. So I'm like, maybe I am onto something. Maybe Lou is right.
I've been telling you for years. I said, Teresa, and I've been telling you this for years. I said, Teresa, you think that's normal, the way you think and the way you're like a pit bull behind this health and nutrition stuff. And I mean, I could mention something just in passing and you researched it and you can't find out enough information about it. Yeah. So that's a huge benefit. Yeah. You got it.
I got it. We got to do that thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Well, then it was worth all of this then.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last question. Okay. What was the highlight for you? The highlight for me was our private moments when you and I were giggling and realizing we did the dirt thing. You know what? We thought we were going to do it. Yeah. We planned on doing it, but we actually did the dirt thing.
We did at Half-Hour Sisters.
So that was the highlight when I looked at you and you looked at me and we're like, oh my goodness, we did it. Yeah. And another highlight was, Teresa, you and I, we laugh about how we're really private people.
Yes.
And Earrings Off has us all out of our comfort zone. I mean, it's just, but the links we would go to and the stuff we would do for this podcast and blog, it's comical to me. It's like we don't want to do it, but we know it has to be done. And there is simply nobody else who's going to do it.
But Lou, it was you, though. If you hadn't been calling and emailing all those people, I wouldn't have done that.
Well,
you made me do it.
I'm not going to have it. I told Teresa, when we were talking, Teresa, you and I were talking, and I was saying, when this is over, I'm not going to have any friends. Nobody's going to want to talk to me. And you know what? My grandfather, my paternal grandfather that I loved dearly, I just kept remembering his words of wisdom that I heard from him many times when I was a little girl growing up. I just kept thinking about him and what he used to say to me. And I kept thinking to myself, well, if this happens and I lose all my friends, the hell with it.
I did not know where you was going with that.
He would say that. He would say that about everything. The house could be burning down. The hell with it. So there you have it, folks.
Oh,
we did the best that we could,
yes.
And you supported us, and for that we are forever grateful. So please, we thank you. If you were in attendance, please drop us an email. If you've got ideas for future podcast subjects or guests, send that by email. But keep supporting Earrings Off. We need you. We applaud you, and we thank you.
The email address is earringsoff@gmail.com. Thank you so much.